This is going to confuse search engines. It's
You're
going to
right.
confuse bots. It's going to confuse ADA and screen readers. Like, it doesn't know what the main topic is for this page.
So today, we're going to be reviewing some websites. All right, let me try this again. So today we're going to be reviewing some websites that were randomly selected by Google's Gemini as B2B websites. We're going to look at them from a structural, HTML structural standpoint to see if Ryan and I can figure out what the structure looks like from an HTML standpoint. And we're doing this to elevate the fact that the general HTML and semantic structure of a website is very important for ADA, for SEO, for AI optimization, chatbots, and such. And we're just going to have some fun trying to see if we can figure out whether these websites are built well.
So here we are, our first site, NTN. Not sure who this is, but right away it seems like we have a hero that seems to fade in and out. So I'm going to guess these would not be an H1 because it's content that's fluctuating depending on where we are. So what do you think? I'm going to guess these are spans or not even headings of any sort.
You know, the first thing we want to see on a page is a heading 1. I don't see anything that sticks out as a heading 1. In fact, if these are heading 1s, there's 4 of them or more, and that's not great.
Yeah.
The other thing that I see about heading 1s is that they really should reflect the content of the rest of the page, and this is jumping around between careers and welcome to and that kind of thing. So there's no real clear, at least visually, no real clear
everything
purpose.
We need. Yeah, these are just slider sort of headings.
Yep.
Not anything to do with structured content on the page.
Yeah, so I'm really struggling to figure out if there's even a heading in this hero section. I feel like we have failed miserably on that section, so let's move to this one.
So now this is very clearly a heading for the following section. I would say this is an H2, but with a lack of an H1. I'm struggling with what this should be. Yeah, and very clearly, like the product spot. These are the products that we're selling at NTN, whoever that is. Although I am this far down the page and I don't know who they are.
That's a good point.
But
good use for that hero section that we didn't understand.
Yeah, then there's 3 products that we're selling as part of the site. So very clearly H2,
So
then H3, H3.
Do you agree that this section could be,
Yes,
if it could be properly
Yes,
formatted?
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. You know what would be interesting is when it's revealed to us what the actual heading structure is. Like, I could see that this site has a proper structure, but just because the structure is proper doesn't mean that it's easy to understand. Just because an H2 follows an H1 and an H3 follows an H2 doesn't mean that it makes sense.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, if the content doesn't make sense.
Let's do the reveal. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's way off. It's not terrible, though.
NTN Bearing Corporation.
So
I'm going to guess that this changes because this is going to fluctuate. Yeah. So they have 4 H1s. This is going to confuse search engines. It's going to confuse bots. It's going to confuse ADA and screen readers. Like, it doesn't know what the main topic is for this page, which should be something like NTN Americas or whatever their main focus is for their site. I'd love to see like an H1 above this, like above careers. That's like, you're here because we're a good company, this is who we are, and then have each of these be H2s. Each of the rotations be H2s.
We've already analyzed the heck out of the hero not being very good, but there's no transition between that first section and this section.
So look, it thinks, like you said, there's no transition from this heading of product spotlight to this next section, and that's how it's showing.
Yeah, I think this whole section needs a higher level heading and then subs.
Yeah, very clearly see that this will be confusing.
Yeah, there's some structural issues here. I don't think I think they can be overcome pretty easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I do think it has, and I'm not a content expert, but it definitely has the story's missing. There's some elements of the story missing for me.
This is very content sparse.
Yeah, it's missing.
So
missing some context.
The search engines are certainly going to have a hard time figuring out what this site's about.
I guess we should call them
Yeah, they need some work. So NTN, if you're watching, we'd be more than happy to help you get this fixed up.
Definitely. It's a good looking site, though.
It does look good.
My
yeah.
reaction was, wow, I like this.